In this video, we're going to show you how to perform the brake bleeding process on your Honda Ridgeline. Now with the hood open, you want to go ahead and remove the upper engine cover. Now normally there are retainers across the front side of the cover itself. Ours is missing, so we're gently going to lift up on this here, remove it and set it aside. On our air intake tube, we want to go ahead and loosen up this clamp right here. It's a 10 millimeter. We're going to loosen it. We're not going to undo the clamp. Now, if you follow the hose up to the air box itself, there are going to be a few Phillips head screws or 8 millimeter screws holding the lid on here. So we want to go ahead and loosen and remove those next. And on the back side here of our air intake tube, there is a hose coming around to the back and there is a clamp here. So we're going to use a pair of pliers and pinch that clamp and release that. Go ahead and work that metal hose out of the intake port here. There it is. And lift up on that and pull that out and set it aside. Now that we have access to everything right here on our master cylinder, we're going to go ahead and clean off this unit using some spray solvent. I want to go ahead and wipe down, get rid of any dirt and debris that might be around the top itself. Our next step is if you have a container like this here, it's simply a half of a bottle that we had. We're just going to set that up. Now, remove our cap, twisting that counterclockwise. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap that right there. I don't want to get brake fluid all over the place. Inside here is a screen. And if you can see in there, there's a lot of dirty fluid in here. This has not been serviced in a long time. Let's go ahead and set this aside. Next thing we're going to do is grab this tool here. Now we're going to suck the fluid out of this here. You can use anything from like a turkey baster or something like that. Something that's going to create a good vacuum to go ahead and pull out as much of this fluid as possible. And that's what we're using our half a bottle there for. Now our goal here is to really just clean this out. So when we bleed our brakes, we're pulling in fresh clean fluid and cycling that through and getting rid of all the old garbage instead of wasting our time running dirty fluid right through the system again. You want to make sure you clean this out. You can use your spray solvent and clean that and make sure that that is clean before you reinstall that afterwards. Our next step, add clean fluid to this. And depending on how much fluid you have, you can repeat this process again. Adding that new fluid is going to go ahead and get that old garbage and some debris floating around again. So you want to go ahead and you can still see some old garbage coming out of that, which is good. At this point, we're going to grab our container and go ahead and dispose of that properly. And top off our system here with fresh fluid. And we cleaned out our screen. Go ahead and drop that down inside, pushing that down gently. We'll just top off our fluid. Go ahead and grab your cap. Line that up. And secure that. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and start to bleed our brakes. Now we have someone up inside the vehicle, and what they're going to do is help us pump up the brakes and hold pressure while we go ahead and open up the bleeder screw. Now we're going to do this 4 times. We're going to start with the left front, then over to the right front, right rear, and then we're going to finish up at the left rear. And what we're going to do is use a 10mm wrench to go ahead and open up that bleeder screw. We have a canister here to catch the fluid as we do this. So we're going to go ahead and have the person up in the driver's seat go ahead and pump up the brakes. Usually that's 3 to 5 times, and then hold constant pressure. I'm going to put this on here and use our wrench. And while they're holding pressure, we're just going to crack this, and we're going to watch the fluid come down the line. And what we're looking for is any air bubbles that might be in there. All right. And go ahead and pump it up. Now, normally the gentleman or person in that seat there will let us know when that pedal hits the floor, so we know when we can go ahead and close up that bleeder screw. I'm going to open that up, and he's at the floor. Go ahead. And we can see that we're getting good solid stream of fluid with no more air bubbles. We're going to do one more time. And there it is. So we'll go ahead and remove this here. Now, if you have any residual fluid leaking out of this, simply go ahead and take a spray solvent, give it a quick spray, wipe that down. In some cases, you'll have a rubber boot that was on the bleeder screw. Ours are missing, but if you have that rubber boot, just go ahead and pop that back on. Let's go ahead and do this process on the right front. Let's go ahead and top off your fluid. We're going to fill this up to the max line right on the side of the reservoir. Now that we've topped off our master cylinder, let's go ahead and continue on to the right rear, or the passenger side rear. Okay, go ahead and pump it up. Okay. Now you can see we have some air in the line right here. And again. Now the other thing you're also looking for is clarity of that fluid. You want clear fluid coming through this here. If you have brownish looking fluid, keep on flushing this. Even though there's no more air bubbles, you want to get rid of that old contaminated fluid until you have that new clean stuff coming through. Go ahead and pump it up. And we'll do one more. Okay, make sure that's good and snug. Give it a quick spray. If you have that rubber boot, go ahead and pop that onto that bleeder screw. Now we're going to go ahead and finish up with the driver's side rear. Let's go ahead and top off your fluid. We're going to fill this up to the max line right on the side of the reservoir. Let's go ahead and get our air intake tube lined up here. Put our air box lid or air filter lid down into place. Now on the air intake tube where it goes onto the throttle body, don't forget we have this hard line here that needs to go into place. Sometimes by giving the metal line or the inside of the rubber port a quick spray of spray solvent. That might help that slide onto that hose a little bit better, a little easier. You can use your pliers to go ahead and move that hose clamp into position. We can go ahead and secure our intake tube clamp here. And you just want to make that snug. You don't want to over tighten it where you break the clamp. Give it a little wiggle, make sure that's on there secure. Now let's come back up to the air filter lid. Line that up, make sure that is sealed up. And we're going to use our extension here to go ahead and get all of these screws started. And we can go ahead and snug these down. Be gentle with these here as you can break the screws or the box itself. So you just want them to be bottomed out. ahead and take the engine cover. Now the 2 plastic pins that will line up. Push those down and then install your retainers on the front side of the engine cover itself.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.